So if you look at AWS solutions specifically for education, I can just take you through some of those. Teaching and learning, which is very important for our educational institutions, especially when COVID happened, we have seen quite a number of institutions really prioritizing learning management systems. So what we have been doing over the past years as AWS, we have been working with independent software vendors, as an example, and open source communities. For example, Moodle, as one of the popular open source learning management system, we as solutions architect, we have worked with that community to be able to create vetted solutions that you can run on AWS. By merely clicking few buttons, you are able to today run your Moodle environment on AWS. We, of course, don't do only Moodle. So if you use Sakai, OpenCast, OpenEdX, Canvas, etc. So there's a number of learning management systems that we have experience on running on AWS. Research, under research, there we have a very special focus on high performance computing. This is very important for higher learning, because we do find customers that really wants to remove the heavy lifting of managing high performance computing clusters, and also have a benefit from the cost perspective. So those multiple instances that I was talking about, some of those instances or virtual machines, we have created specific instances for HPC. So we will be very specific that if you want to get the higher performance, the higher price performance, this is a specific instance type that you need to be used for HPC. So we didn't end on only the infrastructure as a service for HPC. We have created quite a number of services that are very much differentiators on the high performance computing as well, just to help our researchers remove the burden of managing your high clusters. Most importantly as well, we have seen some of the education institutions moving into virtual proctoring solutions. So we have been working with a number of vendors that provides proctoring solutions. So today, we also have some experience implementing proctoring solutions as well. We have also seen when COVID happened, a lot of teaching happened at home. So virtual learning environments then became very, very important. So if you want to run virtual desktop on the cloud, we are able to provide you with solutions for virtual desktop, but also there are solutions to help you with application streaming. So if there is an engineering development that is teaching student CAD software, as an example, they are able to stream that those applications directly to students, then they are able to access it simply over the internet. Most importantly as well, in the education, we do offer contact center solutions. So contact center solutions also are very important because you are able to set up within minutes an omni-channel cloud contact center. So we have a service called Amazon Connect, allowing you to be able to set up a contact center. So this is not just a standard contact center, it's a service that comes already with voice, chatbots, also voice biometric already integrated with the solution. So you are really able to enrich the experience for the students. Lastly, on this slide, student information system, which is quite a key system to be able to manage in the education sector. So if you think about a number of solutions such as your PeopleSoft Campus, SEP Campus, Lucian Banner, those solutions, we already do run them on AWS, and we do have experience on running those specific applications on top of AWS. So if you can move to the next slide. Thank you, Ford. So it's very important also, as I close my portion, that security, I already mentioned that it's very important topic on AWS. It's a highest priority on AWS. So we ensure that we can share the responsibility with our customers. So we have then developed this transparent framework, allowing us to be able to share the responsibility with our customers. So if you contrast this with currently customers who are predominantly on-premise, you have to manage your security end to end, meaning the security, the physical security of your data centers, the security of your data. So with AWS, we say we share that responsibility with you. So in this model, customers control how they architect and secure their application and control the data that they put into AWS. So before I dive deep into what the customer's responsibility would be, so let's look at AWS responsibility. So we say AWS will be responsible for the security of the cloud. So what I mean by security of the cloud, so all those compute infrastructure that I referred to earlier, compute, storage, the databases, the networking, we will manage the security of those, including our AWS global infrastructure. Of course, Robin mentioned the regions, the availability zones, the edge locations. So we will be responsible in ensuring that we secure the security of the cloud. Then the customer then becomes responsible for the data that they move into the cloud. So it's very important to then separate that. So the customer then becomes responsible for security in the cloud. So meaning the applications that you run on AWS, you will ensure that those applications are configured correctly in a secure manner. What AWS do for you, they will provide you with tools, of course, to be able to secure your application, or the tools that can allow you to be able to do, as an example, data encryption, the tools that can be able to help you with data integrity, authentication, server-side encryption, network protection. So all the tools will be available for you. All what you'll be responsible for is how do you then configure that environment to ensure that you are safe on the cloud. So of course, we provide you with a lot of white papers, a lot of guidance, and we have a partner network that can help you if you do not necessarily have resources that are skills to implement your applications in the cloud.
My name is Linda Siso. I am the head of education in South Africa. My team and I work with the full education communities, including learners, where we give them no-cost access to learning and training content to upskill the students in cloud computing. Educators and researchers, you've heard Jabu touch on many solutions, and there are more than we've touched on these presentations. Solutions and services that we offer to the universities, the colleges, and the schools. And we also work with very important stakeholders, which we call EdTechs, which is our community companies that build solutions for AWS. And you'll see some of the names of those in the slide that we've got on. We're talking about the likes of the South African born EdTech Get Smarter, which was sold to an American organization called 2U, both of which are on our slide and are customers that are utilizing AWS services and solutions as we speak. And you'll see a plethora of all EdTechs you probably recognize, like Blackboard, Ellucian, D2L. These are very topical at the moment with all the e-learning strategies that have been brought to the fore due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we've seen quite a lot of acceleration in providing or building scale to be able to have either hybrid or online learn or fully online learning. Closer to home in Africa, you see customers such as University of Witwatersrand, UP, University of Pretoria, sorry, I'll use their full names, University of Free State in South Africa, Strathmore University in Kenya, African Leadership University, the Regent Business School also in South Africa, and many more that are not on the slide. And then you see probably some of the big global universities in the United States, Stanford, Chicago, and Notre Dame, and Arizona State University. And we put the slide not only to probably brag about the customers that we have, but more importantly, to share with you some of the use cases and some of the case studies that we have behind all these brands. So I really encourage you to visit our website and look at some of the case studies that we have behind all those logos. Thank you. For next slide. So university, I'll speak in particular about 2 universities in South Africa, and both those case studies talk to the work that we did around e-learning, to support e-learning for universities. The first one is WITS. We worked with WITS as the COVID-19 pandemic started. They had their learning management system, Sakai, which was hosted on their on-prem servers. And due to the large demand that they were having as students tried to access learning online, they found that they experienced a few outages at peak demand. We worked with WITS and together with one of our partners in South Africa called Silicon Overdrive to help WITS migrate their Sakai from on-prem to AWS cloud in less than 4 weeks. And one of the key focus for us was to architect and implement a secure, fault-tolerant, and highly available solution. And with the environment, when the environment went live, WITS had 100% uptime, and the students have experienced an unparalleled user experience. So this was a really good case study for us in terms of the speed of execution. And the quotation that you see on the slide is from their CIO, Dr. Mpofu. And I also encourage you to watch the YouTube case study on YouTube. Next slide, please. The other university that we've worked with closely in South Africa is University of Pretoria. This university is probably well known for really having a visible e-learning strategy well before COVID. I think I've heard them talk about 2015 is when they started thinking about a learning management system and then integrating their e-learning strategy with all the activities that they were doing. They moved, their LMS is Blackboard, which is an AWS partner that I mentioned before. And they initially, it wasn't hosted on cloud and was moved to AWS, I think around 2015. And if you watch the case study, you hear the UP colleagues highlighting some of the benefits that they had as they moved their LMS to AWS cloud, such as better scalability and better user experience and increased usage by the students as a result of having a stable environment.